If you fish pressured ponds and you think the bass stopped biting, you're wrong. Bass didn't disappear. They didn't stop feeding. They just got smarter. Today I'm going to break down how pressured bass actually behave so you can stop guessing and start understanding and finally start catching them again. Biggins after biggins, son, all day long. Let's just get it done. You're not fishing dumb bass. You're fishing educated bass. They've seen everything. In pressured ponds, these bass have seen it all. Every lure, every color, every retrieval. They've been caught before and they learn. Bass do learn. Repeat exposure, hook memory, lure recognition. These are all things that bass learn in these high pressure public ponds. You're not introducing something new. You're trying to trick something that's already been fooled. This is the biggest sign of pressured bass. When they follow and don't commit. Follow to the bank, turns away, that bump and won't eat. Those are all signs that you're fishing a high pressured public pond. Curiosity, inspecting behavior. They're not trying to eat it, they're trying to figure it out. That's why slowing down, pausing, changing things up makes all the difference between catching bass and not catching bass in pressured public ponds all day long, son. Pressured bass just don't sit out in the open. I see it all the time. People just casting without purpose, just casting all over them. They become finicky. They hold tight to cover. I mean, really tight to cover. Deeper. They go deeper during pressure. People are always fishing banks, going down banks. They'll go out deep. There's less pressure. They feel safer. They tucked into shade. Always, I've been talking about a lot about shade. Shade in the morning, shade in the evening. If you can find areas that are shaded in the afternoon, those are places that the bass are going to tuck into. Most anglers in these high pressure public ponds are casting to what you feel or what they feel is a good spot, not where bass actually are. It's the same thing with lures. We all of us, me included, we buy lures that look good, not necessarily that catch bass. Oh, that looks pretty sweet. Look at that pretty sweet lure. Will it catch bass in the ponds that I fish? Will it catch bass in these high pressure public ponds? Am I casting to areas that I like? That I think, oh, that's a pretty good spot. Or are we casting to areas that we know bass are going to be holding tight? In pressured ponds, feeding is narrow. Their feeding window gets narrowed. They don't feed all day. I'm telling you, I'm going to say this again. Bass don't feed all day. I'm going to say that one more time. Bass do not feed all day. I was just out yesterday. I hit the major feeding time. I was at the end of the major feeding time. I caught 4. Caught the back end of major feeding time. I was able to catch the beginning of the minor feeding time. The next feeding time, which is a minor feeding time. Major, minor, major, minor. That's how it goes. In the window of in between a major feeding time and a minor feeding time, I did not get one single bite. Not one single bite. Same lure that I caught the 4 on. Same pattern. I was targeting the same pattern. Same areas that I know were productive. Nothing. I was able to fish that minor. I was only able to fish it for 20 minutes. Same lure, same retrieval, same pattern. Boom. I started catching him again. They don't feed all day long. Now, am I telling you to pack it up and head home? No. You can still catch bass off of reactionary bites, but you have to fish the productive areas during those feeding times. That window shrinks. It might only be 1 to 2 hours. Might only be 1 to 2 hours. It's important that you understand that. It's important that we recognize that. So we can be more productive and we're casting with purpose and we're hitting those areas during those feeding times. Fast, loud, shiny, those lures might grab attention. But pressured bass don't want to chase. They want something easy. I'm going to say that again because I think it's so important. Pressured bass want something that's easy. They do not want to chase. Slow presentation, subtle presentation, natural colors. We're giving them something natural. They're finicky. They're holding super tight to structure. They're going deep. They've seen it all. They've seen every single lure. They've seen every single retrieval. They've been caught before. They learn. But when you present them with something that's natural that they eat on a daily basis, you have a great opportunity to be catching those bass. Biggins, son, all day long, son. all day long. One thing a lot of anglers don't really think about is they spook easily. Again, these bass are finicky in these high pressure public ponds. Most anglers don't think about spooking bass. You're talking loud, you're on that bank, you're with your buddy, maybe by yourself. Robert Bro 777, they got a boom box. Guys are going out there with boom boxes. What the heck is that? I don't know. But they're out with boom boxes, they're loud. That spooks bass. Bass can hear what's happening above the water. Sound does travel. You want to be stealthy. You want to be quiet. When you're casting lures, it's a jig. You're pitching it. It's that bloop. It's just that little bloop. It's not a big splashes in the water. They're already finicky. They're already pressured. You're going to spook them. Footsteps, shadows. I don't know how many times I could tell you when I walk around ponds, I'm always looking out in front of me. I have spooked, we've all done it. I've been doing it for 35 years. I've spooked a ton of bass. I mean, some big bass were pushed up all that bank, and you're walking, and boom, they just take off. You're not catching that. You're not catching that today, son. Hey, that bass is gone. So pay attention. Your footsteps. I'm not cracking on branches if I'm walking through the woods. I'm trying to be stealthy. Repeated casts. I'm not hammering that area. I always talk about it. I'm not hammering an area with 100 casts. If a bass is going to hit, it's going to hit it on the first pass. If I want to try a different lure, I'm going to make my progressions through my spots. Then I'm going to come back. Let that spot cool down. Could be 10 minutes, could be 15 minutes. But I'm working my progressions. Then I'm going to come back to that area, and I'm going to try something different. I'm not cutting time. I'm not casting. Play a swim jig's not working. I'm going to throw out a swim jig. Swim jig's not working. Let me throw a jig. Throw out a jig. That's not working. Let me go throw a swim bait out there. No. I made my progressives of cast. Played a swim jig. For me, that didn't work. I'm leaving that area. They're spooky. I'm going to let that area cool down. I'll circle back to it. If I think another lure, if I hit another lure, or I go in the next spot, I'm like, hey, Blaze, now I'm going to cut to that other area. I'm going to cut and tie the next area I'm fishing. Now I'm going to try something else in that area. Okay, now they're hitting swim jigs. I'm having success with swim jigs. Okay, now I can go back and circle back. Do not cast 100 times in an area. Progressions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're done with that area. You could always circle back around in a little bit. In pressured ponds, one wrong move can shut down that whole area. Bass takes off from that bank. You're casting too much. That area's toast for the day. You just ruined it. Be stealthy. Be smart. Be quiet. Pressured bass are reaction-based, not chase-based. Short strike zones need time to react. So we're going natural, slow. They're pressured. They're finicky. They won't run something down. You got to put it in the front of their face. You got to give them time to react. If you move too fast, you lose them. So I talk about my favorite lure, bladed swim jig. It's always slow rolling. Always slow rolling. I'm giving it time for that bass to react. Small adjustments equal big results in these high-pressured public ponds. Catch them biggins all day long, son. Yes, sir. Slow down, downsize, change angles, change color, pause and retrieve. Take your time. Don't make a lot of noise. And I guarantee you'll be catching biggins after biggins. You don't need to completely change everything. Just making small adjustments is the key. Understand how pressured bass behave. Everything starts to make sense. Why they follow, why they won't bite, why certain spots don't work. It's not that the bass aren't there. It's that they don't like what you're doing. Make the adjustments, take your time, and you'll get it done, son. Biggins all day long, son. Yes, sir. They're not dumb. They're educated. Curiosity is not feeding. Most anglers fish empty water. Slow it down. Fish with purpose. Follow those keys, and you'll become the master of a public pond that you're fishing. Drop a comment down below. What is your biggest challenge fishing these high-pressured public ponds? I'd love to hear it. Love to have a conversation with you. And let's just get it done together. Yes, sir. I'd like to give a special shout out to my man, Captain Caveman. Always getting it done. Greatly appreciate you being a member. Greatly appreciate all the support, my friend. Another special shout out to Roger Decker, 2732. Always getting it done, my man. I greatly appreciate the support. Greatly appreciate the membership. Special shout out to William Martin, 1179. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the membership. Getting it done, son. Yes, sir. All day long. Greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification. If you're already a subscriber, I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to check out the merch store. Don't forget to check out the membership. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll catch you next time on Getting It Done Fishing.